Hiya guys, how are all you doing? Sorry I've not been online. Some you know why, but I won't get into it at the moment. I'm sorry that my voice is a bit croaky as well. I've not been very well, but I want to do this reaction. I follow this, excuse me, I follow this channel called Here TV. This guy here. So go and give him a follow and give him give him some love and show him. Leave a comment with a heart. And he is an Israeli, and he covers the kind of the propaganda that comes out of Gaza. Now he has Palestinian friends, and his heart breaks as well for what's happening in Gaza as well. But he also likes to expose a lot of the hypocrisy by letting us know that whatever comes out of Gaza is deeply, deeply I'm trying to think of the words to say. It's deeply, deeply it's just propaganda by Hamas. So he done this video, and I just wanted to watch it because it's saying Pallywood Exposed. Now there's a great account on X called Pallywood, and it exposes, you have to go and follow it. It exposes a lot of it's really strange. They'll have children that that'll be they'll look deceased, and then I don't know, maybe they need to go back to film school or something, but they'll forget to hit stop on the camera, and then once they finish this recording session, the kid will get up and walk away. There's actually one video out there where there's 5 guys and they're carrying what's like a deceased teenager on a stretcher, and they've got a white shawl over them, and an air raid kind of siren goes off, and you see these 5 guys just ditch the stretcher in the middle of the road, and you think, oh, okay, they run to save their lives, and this guy's already dead. So, but then all of a sudden you see the guy, the white sheet from the stretcher move, and this teenager got up and run as well, and I'm like, what? What's happening here? Then I've seen the same guy, Maya Tuzi's covered him. He calls him Mr. Fafo. The same guy, he's lost the same child about 4 times. He's been a doctor. He's died about 3 times. He's actually, honestly, he was on a hospital bed, and they were acting like he died and stuff. Then in the next video you see him he's then a reporter. Then all of a sudden he was involved in a car bombing, and he died again. But then he's back alive. Oh, it's just a mess. It's absolutely a mess. And so they call it Pallywood, aka Hollywood. So yeah, quite a clever name. But let's get into this video anyway, because I'm rambling on.
Zaytun, a charming open-air restaurant serving local food in family bags.
To the people who tell me all of Gaza is fully destroyed, there's not a single building left, then what are these restaurants? Answer me this, what are these restaurants? Again, it's a lie. You know what I'm sick of? I'm sick of people telling me that everything is destroyed in Gaza, everything is leveled in Gaza, people are starving.
So we're getting, to begin with, we obviously seen Hamas was winning the propaganda war. Now, I'm not saying there are not hungry people in Gaza. Obviously they are. But many of us know, and we have seen the videos, they're not hard to find. Go and look for them. Don't take my word for it. I always say this, just go and look yourself. And Hamas does steal the aid. It does. It steals the aid. But I'm now seeing Jewish people fighting back now, because they weren't saying anything at all to begin with. To expose the lies that are coming out of Gaza. So Okay, and this guy's one of them. He started his channel and he's grew quite big actually. Just after the October 7th attack.
Starving in Gaza. In this video, my good friend Oren from travelingisrael.com, it's a great YouTube channel, you should subscribe, is going to expose the truth in Gaza. People are starving in Gaza. In this video, my good friend Oren from travelingisrael.com, it's a great YouTube channel, you should subscribe.
So he's going to react to a guy called travelingisrael.com. I'm also subscribed to this guy, and I advise you to go and subscribe to him because he does some great historical videos as well, explaining the history and the context and history between the wars and stuff, the intifadas, all that kind of stuff, and it gives you a good idea of the area and how things aren't so black and white.
Is going to expose the truth. All of the videos you're going to see are taken in real restaurants in Gaza as we speak. Let's see if the genocide is real.
What are the top 5 restaurants in Gaza in the summer of 2025?
Well, it's
Well,
good.
there are a lot of them. But before we dive in, just one quick thing. All the restaurants you are about to see are open right now in summer 2025. This is not a satire, it is not AI. Every single clip and image shown here comes directly from
What's
the
that?
restaurant's own Instagram
It's
account.
like a chocolate eclair or something like that. That looks delicious, doesn't it?
Posted in the last days or weeks. I will link all their pages in the
Oh my
description
God.
so you can fact check me.
We don't even have things like this in Britain. Look how amazing that looks. What is that? It's like some kind of, I don't know, some kind of fresh juice drink with ice cream and some candy on the top. 6 days ago. Okay, 6 days ago.
Let's get started. O2 Restaurant. One of the most popular spots in Gaza, serving pizzas, baked goods, desserts, and packed with pepper.
Oh, wow.
The starvation in Gaza is legitness, huh? Look at this. Look at the food.
Oh my God. Look at all... Look at those croissants. This is called O2. And they're saying you can go and still look up in those dates. Yeah, they're like 3 weeks ago.
From 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago.
Well,
This is Gaza.
Yeah, I
It's
got
an
that right. I'm starting to get my head around some Hebrew because I'm watching so many videos in some Arabic. So, yeah, yeah.
Go to their Instagram page. Go to their Instagram page and see for yourself.
So, O2 restaurant in Gaza. He's saying go and look for yourself. Don't trust what we're saying. Go and look for yourself.
See for yourself. They're lying to our faces. There's no starvation in Gaza, and if there is anything, Hamas is causing it.
Great food, but kind of crowd magnet.
I'm not surprised. The food looks amazing.
Thailandi Gaza. Looking for something a bit more chill? Thailandi Gaza is a fan favorite. Lots of food, but especially desserts.
The desserts
And if there is
amazing.
one thing to know about Gaza,
I want to know what that cake is. It's like pastry, chocolate. I'm trying to read a little bit. Some cream. Yeah, looks good that, doesn't
restaurants, they love pouring chocolate on everything.
Oh, I said that chocolate. Wow, they look delicious. You can see like they do this like thing in Arabic countries where they get phyllo pastry and they shred it really, really finely, and they mix it in with pistachio nuts and cover it in chocolate. It is so delicious. I'm not even joking you how good it is. And that's what that is. I can just tell by looking at it. And it's got nuts and stuff on top of it. Is that right? Yeah, it is, yeah. So it's even got the phone number so you can get deliveries. So what it saying here is basically you can phone up and book you know, book a slot so you can go in and pick like your food up. Wow. How many days ago is these? Yeah, just a few days.
I remember the time that people told me on live streams that there's no chocolate coming into Gaza. Israel, stop the chocolate transfer. What BS. Look at Thailand Gaza. Look it up on Instagram and see for yourself the lies that are being told to us by the media.
Roma restaurant. Now, if you're in a mood for something a bit more high-end,
Wow.
Roma is the place.
Looks like nice seafood. Got some nice crab legs. Nice big ones as well. Lobster tails. Don't know what that is though. It's like
a beautiful seafood restaurant, great for special occasions.
Look at that. Got your falafel. You've got your fish. You've got your lemon and lime to squeeze on top. Wow. Oh, I can't remember what that stuff's called as well. I've tried it when I was like in the Middle East, but I didn't like it very much. Oh, what's it called again? It's like hummus. It's not. Yeah, I don't really like it, but it's like hummus, and they mix it with olive oil, and they'll use it and they'll dip bread into it. Not for me. But yeah, look at that. Large, big, giant prawns. Scallops. And the restaurants are getting really good ratings, yeah. And 17 days ago.
The kind of place you celebrate anniversaries or ceasefires. Est Cana Cafe. Another cozy cafe with good coffee, pastries, and a friendly staff.
See, I don't mind that the Gazans actually have good food
or
good restaurants.
Nobody does. Nobody minds like the Gazans. The Gazans are entitled to have amazing food, and by the looks of it, like they look like superb. Like the restaurants look superb, you know. Like, oh, I'd love to taste like some of these dishes, especially the desserts look amazing. I mean, look at this big like chocolate and cream kind of cake thing. You know, that's 6 days ago. So yeah, nobody minds that they've got food and stuff. It's the fact of the I think it's like the fact of the lies that every Gazan's starving. You know, like news make out that everybody in Gaza is literally starving. Now I don't, like I said before, I don't. I'm not saying that there's not people in Gaza suffering. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying that the people who are suffering, especially in the parts, you know, where Hamas basically are, or where the aid and that's going in, Hamas are stealing it. And I've seen videos of them literally shooting people, you know, who are just trying to like grab some flour and stuff like that. But the fact that there's still like, there's restaurants and buildings and that like open, they make it look as though the whole of Gaza's been destroyed when that's just not true. You can just go to Google Maps. Yeah, there's a chunk, you can't deny it, that's been destroyed. There's massive swabs of it like that haven't, and there's restaurants and hotels and people still living their day-to-day lives.
It's the fact that people around the world are blind to the fact that these people are not starving. They've got restaurants open. They've got cakes. They've got
Yeah.
good seafood. They've got
Didn't see like the Jews during the Holocaust, like they never had restaurants and cakes and chocolate and lemon and lime and crab legs and delicious desserts, you know. I mean, even like looking at the people who are starving in Lebanon, like that's starvation, you know, where people are basically skin and bone. You never see people out protesting for these poor people, you know. These are Muslims as well. Where's the people out protesting for these Muslims who are literally starving? Hundreds of thousands of them, literally starving. You see no one out protesting at any embassy or anything like that, or out in the street with a Lebanese flag. I don't see anybody protesting for these people. Nobody. No one cares about them. It's just like the same tune, I guess, like no Jews, no news. It's strange.
everything they need, and it's the fact that they lie to us and think we're dumb to not see it. But a quick search proves to us that they're not starving.
And I can
Amada
understand
ice
why he's angry.
Great ice cream, of course.
Oh, look
But
at
people
them.
come here.
Donut balls. They've got like, oh, they look good. I love a donut ball. I've got to admit it. I do love a donut ball. This is 6 days ago. Oh, they like so good. They're donut balls and they're covered in syrup, like a caramel syrup or caramel, however you say it. Looks like they were read. Yeah. So it's like pastry covered in like a caramel syrup. Oh, I would live on these. If I got a batch of these on my eyes, they would be gone in an instant.
For more than just dessert. It's the time, the fun, the hangout spot.
Wow, like everyone want me to read that?
Great ice cream, of course. But people come here for more than just dessert. It's the time, the fun, the hangout spot.
Look at them. People are wearing look, the lovely, like the clothes are immaculate. Nice shoes. The restaurants are spotless. I mean, people are wearing gloves and stuff to handle the food. It's bright. Yeah. What a vast difference to like what propaganda like Hamas shows you on TV, and you get the useful idiots. And I do say that, like, and I feel sorry for the people, these useful idiots that Hamas are using to spread their propaganda. Because do you honestly think that anything's coming out of Gaza, anything is going to come out of Gaza, without Hamas's approval? Absolutely not. You look at the guy that was recently killed, who was protesting against Hamas. They got a hold of him, tortured him, tied his feet together with rope, attached it to a truck, drove him around the gravel, killed him, and then dumped his body at his parents' doorstep. Just to make a point, you know, if you speak out against us, this is what's going to happen to you. And there was literally no news about it. Nothing. Nobody said a word. Nobody protested. Nobody said anything. This poor Palestinian guy is gone now.
That's what starving people look like, huh? That's what starving people look like. If I
We in the 80s done a benefit for Ethiopia, and I'll never forget like the advert that came on the TV when they showed the people in Ethiopia who were starving, and it was horrifying, horrifying to watch. Those children were dying every day, and they were skin and bones. Like these little babies, like looked like you'd see a toddler, and it looked like this little kid looked like a little old man, you know. It's because his skin's sagging, and um, it's horrifying to watch. So Britain ended up doing a big benefit called Live Aid to raise money for the people of Ethiopia who were living under a dictatorship, somewhat like Hamas. To try and like feed, and help some of these people. And then America followed suit, and then first of all we created a single, so a bunch of pop stars got together and they created a song called "Feed the World," and then America jumped in, and Michael Jackson, I believe, wrote a song called, oh, I'm trying to think right now, it's because I'm not well, but Michael Jackson, and I'm sure it was Lionel Richie, they wrote a song together which raised a good amount of money as well. Then Britain decided like we'd raise about £1 million. That's quite a lot of money in the 80s, for something like that, just thrown together at last minute. So decided like, no, more money needs to be raised because there was like literally hundreds and thousands of Ethiopians dying of starvation. So we did this big benefit concert called Live Aid. That's where you go onto YouTube and you can type in like the famous like scenes from Queen, for example, Live Aid. That's in the Bohemian Rhapsody movie and stuff. Tons of artists like came together, and it was the first like round the world televised live concert using satellites ever done. And America joined in as well. So when we done the British half, and then then after our half, they popped over to America and they started their half. We had like Queen, we had Phil Collins, we had, there's just so many, Dire Straits, there's so many famous people in the 80s, Duran, um, David Bowie, George Michael, list goes on and on. In America they had Simple Minds. Some of the bands that were playing in America were English bands as well, but Bruce Springsteen, Madonna, I'm sure Tina Turner, Mick Jagger, who's British, obviously, just tons of these artists, and all the artists in Britain, when they done their song, they done it for free. Everything got donated, studio time, everything. And even the dinner that they had that night, because they were there all day and night recording this song to get it out as fast as possible to raise this money. They went to like a fish and chip shop, like so they didn't have to like waste any money, because every penny had to go, like they didn't. Every penny was for these people in Ethiopia. So when you compare, like, go and look at the pictures of the people in Ethiopia. Go and look at the pictures of the people in Lebanon. Even look at the pictures, go back to like Auschwitz and the Holocaust. Look at the pictures there. That's what starvation looks like. And it's a horrifying thing to see. They don't have the luxury of a restaurant or a cake shop or anything like that. The Ethiopian kids were so starved that they were literally eating dry corn husks, which was causing them to vomit because they were just starving, and it was ripping their stomachs apart. You can go and still watch the video on YouTube now, where they put a song against the video of these dying people in Ethiopia called it's by a band called, I think it's the Cars or something. It's called Who's Going to Drive You Home Tonight, and it'll literally bring you to tears. Every time I've ever watched it, I've cried, and that was, God, 30 years ago, and I still can't watch that video without crying.
Show you pictures of starving people from the Holocaust, you'll be like, "Ooh, that's a big difference. I can see their skeleton. These people are not starving."
And since we're on that topic of dessert, the next place...
Even like the clothing that they're wearing as well. Like when you go and look at the starving people in Lebanon and Ethiopia and that at the time, like they were wearing like rags. Literal rags. Some of them like weren't even wearing any clothes. Like some of the little kids and stuff and adult, they weren't even wearing clothes because their skin was literally so sore and peeling off because they were so starved. It was causing like their skin to basically just, oh, it's awful to watch, awful. But anyway, let's get back to this video and oh, what's that?
Eat chocolate.
Oh, it's
And
nice.
they are not lying. Chocolate does make people happy.
Yeah, that looks good, that. Oh, look at the
Pizza food truck.
pizza.
Everyone loves pizza. And
My
everyone
God.
loves
Pizza. Wow. Mushrooms. I'm just like looking at some of the ingredients, you know. Cheese. The onions and chicken. There's someone thanking this restaurant in Palestina, grazie a te. 4 days ago. Thanks for what you're doing, Italy. Continue to support the activities for Gaza's population. What are you talking about? They're making little pizzas. Do you honestly think, like, if... Honestly, I don't know if, like, these people are just, like, are so brainwashed by leftism and wokeness and lunacy. I don't understand it. Like, starving people don't have access to like pizzas and stuff like that. Do you honestly think that starving people have access to stuff like chocolate cakes and pizzas and no. I mean, I thought, like, where's the ration packs and that they're meant to be living off of? It's actually quite angering. So it was a pizza distribution party for children, I guess. So this is a kids' party. Why this is being filmed? So this is a pizza party for children. So they're having little pizza parties for children, but they're starving.
a food truck. So why not combine them? Pizza food truck.
Well, he's got skills.
Good skills.
Oh, he's had just said that. Oh,
Pistachio
nice.
ice cream. Another crowd favorite.
Oh my god,
Lively.
I love pistachio anything. But oh my gosh, pistachio ice cream, that sounds amazing. It's shameful you're making fake accounts to hide the genocide you're committing. Wait, what are this? Why are they saying that? This is a Palestinian business. They're saying this literally to a Palestinian business. The writing's in Arabic. Like, you go and look it up on Instagram. Go and look this restaurant up. I done it it's in Gaza. Where is this? God, are these people just so deranged that this is actually like a Palestinian business and they're saying it's fake? Look at the inside of it. It's like it's filled with Palestinians, women in hijabs. The way it annoys me the way they treat the Palestinians as if like they're so fragile they'll break, as if they can't do anything for themselves. Like that's actually quite disgusting to even like that as if these people are so stupid that they can't open a restaurant. Of course they can open a restaurant. Look, this is one of their businesses.
Colorful and very, very sweet.
They're showing you like
Zaytun,
clips.
a charming
They're showing you clips from outside it, like, and you can literally go to Google Maps and look it up, and you see that these businesses are open right now, and they're in Gaza. Oh, unbelievable.
near restaurant serving local food in family bags.
There's a lot of these like nice restaurants as well in the West Bank, Judea and Samaria. Because I've watched the videos where like the people there, there is like a lot of kind people there, that will invite. I saw them one family when it was a weather event had happened, so they had to close the hotels down, and that was a crossing part to get to the Red Sea where there's a lot of salt. It was a part of it where there's a lot of salt, so you float in the water instead of. It's meant to be like a really surreal experience, but this tourist obviously couldn't get a room because of this event, and this Palestinian family who owned a hotel invited this tourist guy to join them at their hotel and join them for dinner. And this was exactly like the spread they laid out for him. Exactly like this.
Also, as we're looking at this, to the people who tell me all of Gaza is fully destroyed, there's not a single building left, then what are these restaurants? Answer me this. What are these restaurants? Again, it's a lie. It's a lie meant
AI,
to demonize Israel. It's a lie meant to create some sort of emotion to get you on the side of the Palestinians. But look at this. Look.
There are plenty of other restaurants operating. No need to show them all. Because by now you get the point. The real story here isn't about the restaurants. It's about the story you are being sold about Gaza.
This is what we're being shown about Gaza. Yes, there is parts of it that have been destroyed. No one is saying that hasn't happened. No one is saying that hasn't happened. No one is saying that people are being killed. But there's also the facts that they're putting out, the Hamas help industry run by Hamas is putting out the numbers of people who have died. Now, for instance, you can't possibly know that right now because they need to clear rubble and stuff away, but they haven't. What they've done as well is they've counted people, like, since the war started. Do you know that no one has died in natural causes in Gaza? All these millions of people, not one person's died in natural causes. Like, that's some magical water they've got there for that to happen. Yeah, they all died because of the IDF strikes. And you've got members of Hamas who they dress up in civilian clothing, but they get counted as members of the public. So when they put these numbers out, they'll say like 25,000, 20,000. Yeah, it's horrifying if, like, people dying isn't a nice thing, you know. But they're failing to, like, subtract the people who are dying of natural causes and the people who are actual Hamas members who have been killed. Again, I want to reiterate, no one is saying that there's parts of Gaza that's not been destroyed. No one's saying that. No one's saying that people's not died. It's a war. People die in war. But now it's taking it too far now, you know, where, like, these people are starving. Like I said, go and look at videos like in Lebanon and Africa, like Ethiopia and that in the 80s. You'll see what starving truly is. What truly is. And it's horrifying to watch. It's a nice taxi though. Yes, I don't know.
Are there people suffering in Gaza? Yes. Do a
Yeah.
few dozen open restaurants tell the whole story? No. But this is not what genocide looks like. This is not what famine looks like. Now, there is famine in the Middle East, in Yemen. But since you can't blame the
I was just saying that. This is famine. Look, little kids, you know. Like, I mean, that is true destruction. Like, they're searching through the rubbish for food. You don't have even shoes on. They're wearing little rags. I mean, it's like literally people picking through the rubble trying to find something to eat. Look at this poor little boy as well. You can see, like, look, he's like bruises now on his head and skin's all sallow and yeah.
for that, no one seems to care. And there
No,
is
they
a
don't.
genocide in the Middle East. Islamists killing Christians. Just last week, an Islamist extremist bombed a church in Syria.
Oh my god. Did you see that?
No one seems to care. And there is a genocide in the Middle East. Islamists killing Christians. Just last week.
As a Christian, that breaks my heart because I'm so sick to death of hearing about my brothers and sisters in Christ in places like Nigeria, Syria, and other countries being slaughtered by Islamists. I truly am. And that this is a church that's been bombed in Syria. What the hell are we doing? Like, giving legitimacy to this Syrian government? I mean, the leader was a member of Al Qaeda. They're going around, like, lynching people for being Christians, lynching Druze. And you know that because of Sharia law, that church cannot be rebuilt. They can't repair it. You're not allowed to. Go and look up the second caliph's laws. His name is Omar. Omar's laws. and it'll show you what rights Christians and other non-Muslim groups have, but mainly Christians in Muslim countries. And it'll sicken you to your stomach. But yeah, that church is gone now. They won't be able to rebuild that. And this is how they're going to have to use it, because you're not allowed to rebuild. You're not allowed to rebuild any new churches. You're not allowed to repair them. And the Islamists know that. That's what they're attacking. And plus, they don't like Christians. So, I wonder, and I've never even heard this on the news. Never even heard it. It was like when the 90 Congolesian Christians in Africa were beheaded in the church, just left there, women, children, and men. No one said one thing about it. Villages of Christian children in Nigeria kidnapped by Boko Haram. Nothing in the news about it. Nothing. And you know where those children have went. The girls are probably sold into slavery. The boys will either be turned into child soldiers or just killed. And no one says a word about it. So yeah, that's horrible. That's happened in Syria. I don't just cry out for my brothers and sisters. These to me are like brothers and sisters in faith, even though they're Syrians, we believe in the same thing, So to me, they're my brothers and sisters in faith, and my heart breaks for them, and my heart breaks for the Nigerians, and my heart breaks for the Congolese, and my heart breaks for anyone that has to deal with this, And because you have to live under these laws that this second Caliph Omar pay the jizya and live this certain way, you're a second class citizen basically. I urge you, don't take my word for it. Go and read it yourself. Read it yourself. Never believe a word I say. Read it yourself.
An Islamist extremist bombed a church in Syria. But American students didn't protest.
Oh, shock.
Why? Because it doesn't fit the narrative. And that's what this is really about, the narrative. What you are being told, and more importantly, what you are not being told.
Guys, Owen is amazing. Please do me a favor. Follow this guy. I'm going to attach his channel down below. Subscribe to this guy. He's got a lot of subscribers already. Each one of his videos are gold. When I started my advocacy journey, most of the videos that I learned from are from him. He's incredible. Who would have thought that the person I was learning from will become one of my good friends?
What they show you, and especially what they don't. Hamas controls the narrative that comes out of Gaza, and I can prove it with just a few simple steps. First, pause this video and check out Hamas's news site, the one made for Western audience. It's called Al Jazeera. Check the
Israeli kills 72 in latest Gaza strikes as 549 aid seekers killed in a month. Feels like heaven. Iranians return to Tehran, uncertain of their future. Israel-Iran conflict. Israel's media amplifies war rhetoric, ignores Gaza's suffering. Influencers turned. Paul tries his luck against Chavez Jr. Don't know who that is. Search for healing inside one of the latest hospitals in Haiti's capital. We wanted to eliminate Israeli's Defense Minister Katz. What's next for Iran's nuclear program? Pope Leo declares shameful disregard for international law. Iran's majority Shia Muslim ushers start, and do you know something? I am so scared for the Iranians right now. You know, the ones that went out and protested that thought they were going to be getting their king back and their country back and they'd get their freedoms back and stuff. Yeah, they wouldn't have to like die if like they were wearing their hijab wrong, and they wouldn't have to like pass by with bodies like swinging from cranes, hung from cranes anymore. And it seems like that possibility is like not looking. I don't know. I hope it does become reality, because I do pray for the Iranians. Like, it, I mean, 80% of Iran at the moment's like Christian. Closed down 75% of the mosques there because like no one attends it anymore. Attends them. Anybody who was like Muslim, that regime totally put them off because it's so radical. Yeah, Al Jazeera has always been I would believe the moon was made of cheese before I believe anything that came out of Al Jazeera.
Headlines. I guarantee you will see a story about civilians killed in Gaza, usually with a fake number Hamas made up. At least 3 sub-headlines will blame Israel, and at least 50% of the opinion pieces will be anti-Israel. Now ask yourself, how is that I can predict the headlines of a news site in advance? Simple, because it is not news site. It is a site that sells the narrative Hamas wants to sell to the West. Qatar and Hamas are 2 arms of the same movement, the Muslim Brotherhood. Their goal, to spread Sharia law across.
Hence why Egypt doesn't want the Palestinians in their country, because of the amount of problems they have had with the Muslim Brotherhood.
The globe. I made a full video on that.
Oh yeah, I remember that sign. It was in the UK. Yeah, I remember that.
Is in the description. According to Al Jazeera, Israel only kills civilians, not one terrorist, not one Hamas fighter. Apparently, every single casualty in Gaza is innocent. And if you think it is just Al Jazeera, you are wrong. Listen to this. Someone from the inside.
We had a great reporter in Gaza, a Palestinian, who had always been really an excellent reporter. We had a detail in a story. The detail was a crucial one. It was that Hamas fighters were dressed as civilians and were being counted as civilians in the death toll. An important thing to know, that went out in an AP story. The reporter called me a few hours later. It was clear that someone had spoken to him. And he told me, I was on the desk in Jerusalem, so I was kind of writing the story from the main bureau in Jerusalem. And he said, Mati, you have to take that detail out of the story. And it was clear that someone had threatened him. I took the detail out of the story. I suggested to our editors that we note in an editor's note that we were now complying with Hamas censorship. I was overruled. And from that point in time, the AP, like all of its sister organizations, collaborates with Hamas censorship in Gaza. Hamas has figured out how to make the press amplify its messaging rather than covering Hamas. There are no Western reporters in Gaza. All of the reporters in Gaza are Palestinians, and those people fall into 3 categories. Some of them identify with Hamas. Some of them are intimidated by Hamas and won't cross Hamas, which makes a lot of sense. I wouldn't want to cross Hamas either. And the third category is people who actually belong to Hamas. That's where the information from Gaza is coming from. And if you're credulous, then of course you're going to get a story that makes Israel look pretty bad.
And then you're questioning.
And this is a guy from Associated Press who worked for Al Jazeera, because Al Jazeera used to be in Jerusalem before they booted Al Jazeera out. So what he's saying there was that they were just going to write a story up that basically that they were counting Hamas fighters in with the dead because they were dressing up as civilians, like I said earlier. and he was talking about this this reporter who was like telling him this, who he was working alongside. He even gave the guy credit, great reporter, everything. Then just as it was about to go to print, the guy phones him up and says, "Do not print that." And he says it's because the guy got threatened. So that's kind of strange that everybody that seems to be in the death toll of Gaza, no one has died of natural causes since October 7th. And none of them seem to be Hamas fighters. It's not strange. Like I said, I want some of the water that they're drinking, that no one ever dies of natural causes there. No one. What, have they got the fountain of youth or something?
Why doesn't Israel let reporters inside Gaza? Because what do you think the outcome is going to be? Hamas is going to dictate what's going to be posted. Israel is going to look even more evil,
Yeah.
and the narrative.
Just look at the BBC interview, the documentary the BBC did that came out. They did a documentary on Gaza. They used Palestinian reporters who were members of Hamas, and they used children who were children of Hamas officials, pretending that they were these poor orphan children just running around like with yeah, with their lives ruined. It was pulled because even the BBC had to apologise and pull it from its iPlayer and its website because it was Hamas propaganda. They lied at first and said, "Oh no, we've checked, it was all independent reporters." But then when another journalist went and looked at who the reporters were, he found out the cameraman was a member of Hamas, and actually one of the guys who filmed the hostages, like, that were getting sent back to Israel. Oh, then they were getting paraded on the stage. He found out like that the kids were all like children of top Hamas leaders. He found their Facebook, and the amount of stuff that he found was just so overwhelming that the BBC just couldn't lie anymore and they had to pull it. It's a joke.
Continues. Proves exactly what I've been saying all along, what Oren has been saying all along. Hamas controls the narrative for the reporters coming from the outside and the reporters coming from the inside. And that's why
it's like Ukraine as well. Like, they take like the reporters around. J.D. Vance even said it in the Oval Office on propaganda tours. North Korea does it as well. They'll take you go there. Don't ever do it. Like, I would never advise anybody to go there. But when they do, China does it too. They take people around on propaganda tours to make everything look peachy keen, like everything's fine. They take them to Xing. Where's that place where they had the Muslim Uyghurs? Xinjiang. Oh, I can't remember. I know it's Xing something. But there was a ton of Muslim Uyghurs there that they put in. Yeah, they ended up basically. That's what you call a genocide. But then they take stupid Western influencers, and I saw them online doing it. They went to the China trips, and they took them to this Xinjiang place, and so I'm messing about a bit of paper, man. Sorry if that's annoying. And you've got these almost like brainwashed. It's like everything's on cue. It was so strange. You've got now these Uyghurs. They've got them dressed up in weird cultural kind of clothing or something, and you've got them dancing, and they've got them in these homes, and the tourists are allowed to just walk into their homes, where they live, and they're showing like these tourists and that. Look how great the places they stay are. You know, look how amazing it is, and you're like, this is like a bloody cardboard city. You know, like everything's fake. Everything's fake. It was just this joke. Go and look up the influencers that went to China, the ones that go to the area where the Uyghur Muslims once lived, and you'll see how utterly disgraceful, like their mosques and stuff, all their is it the moon, crescent moon or something that they have for Islam? That's all been ripped down. They've turned it into a museum. Some of it into a museum, and some of it's like a food market now. They've got dancing Uyghurs in the street, and it's like they just dance on command. You see the Chinese officials like kind of nodding at them, and they just, it's so weird, so weird, and just like these tourists just wandering into these quote unquote homes where the Uyghurs are meant to like live now, and they're like saying, "Oh, we love it so much. This is our homes. Where the Chinese government are so kind, and they built us our wonderful homes." And they didn't want any of this. They were protesting when their homes were getting ripped down by the CCP. You know, and now they've got them dancing around like they're some kind of circus show. It's disgusting. Sorry.
Reporters can be in there, because if that's the case, Israel will become more evil in the eyes of the international community.
This comes from one of the largest news agencies in the world. Now, I'm not saying just because one insider said it, it must be true. But how can you tell if he's
Of course it does. It's the AP. Associated Press. Why wouldn't the Associated Press like lie about something like that? Like you said, yeah, it's just one person. Why is he gonna lie about that?
right? Ask yourself this. In the past 2 years, you've seen millions of reports about Gaza from Gaza. Have you seen even one Gazan citizen criticize Hamas? One report on Hamas
I've seen one, but I think he's dead now. But don't quote me on that. But I've seen one.
executing fellow Palestinians or stealing aid and reselling it for profit? You haven't, because it doesn't fit the narrative Hamas wants you.
The times I've seen those videos is the times they've leaked out of Gaza onto X, but they tend to like come down as fast as they go up. But like I said, I've seen one guy ask the world to save them from Hamas.
To see. In Gaza, like in most Muslim regimes, you can criticize the ruler, but only once, because that's the last thing you will ever do. I know
Yeah.
of only one man who publicly spoke out against Hamas from Gaza.
Oh, I wonder if
Ziad Abu
I wonder if he's going to show the guy. He must have managed to get a hold of the video.
Haya.
Yes. So he's saying, Gaza, save us from Hamas. Before you save us from the Jews, save us from Hamas. Before you save us from the Jews.
I wonder what happened to him. I think he was murdered. I have no idea who this guy is, but I think he was murdered after this.
They, Hamas, are traders with our blood. Every day they trade with our blood. Look, our women and children are out on the streets. The Arab nation, nation of Islam, conscience of the world, save us from Hamas. Before you save us from the Jews, save us from Hamas.
Do you know what happened to him?
Let's watch his video again so you can see him.
I wonder what happened to him. I think he was murdered. I have no idea who this guy is, but I think he was murdered after this.
كل يوم بتنزفوا دمنا فرجوا كيف أطفالنا ونسانا في الشوارع يا أمة عربية يا أمة إسلامية يا ضمير العالم انقذونا من حماس قبل اليهود انقذونا من حماس
Don't get how dangerous like what he's doing is. Honestly, this is the guy they murdered. Yeah, it is. It's the guy they murdered and tortured and dumped his body outside his mum and dad's house.
Do you know what happened to him?
Yeah.
What a
There's a
shocker.
war in Gaza, but there is also a war over the narrative. Don't let Hamas or the media outlets helping them fool you. Remember, everything coming out of Gaza is what Hamas wants you to see. And the two biggest stories in the Middle East are
And the stuff they don't want you to see, stuff that leaks out, stuff that manages to leak out. Nobody says anything about. No one says anything about it. Like that gentleman there who's now deceased for speaking out against Hamas. No one said anything about him. No one probably even knows his name. And that's so sad. That's so sad. Not helping the Palestinians at all by advocating for Hamas. Not at all. And like I said, like videos that have been leaked out, I mean, they've been lucky to be leaked out, and I'm willing to bet the people that have leaked them out are no longer with the living anymore. There was one Palestinian woman that they killed. They shot her, executed her right on, like it was horrific what happened to her. She was a teacher and she helped like children and stuff like that. Because like she had some aid in her car, Hamas wanted it for them. She was refusing to give them it. It was like formula and stuff. They wanted it so they could sell it. Monsters that they are. They took her outside of her car, laid her on the bonnet of her car, and put a bullet through her head. Didn't we hear anything about her? I saw a few short things on X about this woman, but nothing from the pro-Pali lot, nothing from the pre-Free Palestine people, nothing from the mainstream media, nothing. We hear anything about this gentleman's death? Nothing.
no one is talking about. The genocide of Christians, the war and real
Yeah,
famine
I'm sick
in
of
Yemen.
that.
Please subscribe to the channel and send this video to someone who's been misled into believing Hamas's lies. As I said, all the restaurants' link are in the description.
Wow, look at all that
This
Nutella. Palestinians love their Nutella, eh? I've heard that though before, eh? Someone told me that before. Like, it was actually a Palestinian that I actually befriended online. That they said that Nutella's like one of the favourite foods over there. Like, Nutella, really? I'm like, yeah, I can't get enough of it. So it's funny they showed that.
video will probably reach the other side, and Hamas might pressure these businesses to delete their posts from the past 2 years.
Probably.
So if you care, take screenshots. Also, check out the page Gazawood. They expose Palestinian propaganda, and I found many of these restaurants through them.
Support this guy. He deserves it. Subscribe to travelingisrael.com.
Yeah.
Oren is an
Hit
amazing
subscribe.
friend, an amazing creator, and brings the truth to the world. And all of his videos don't flop. They're amazing. They're amazing. They reach to amazing audiences. But if we can help, why not? Please subscribe to him. Support a fellow content creator that fights exactly the same fight that I do.
His videos don't flop because he doesn't need to lie in them. He doesn't need to like add special effects and I don't know, he just doesn't need to add anything more to them than facts that he's found online. And like I said, there is that site Gazawood, and there's also Pallywood as well on X. But if you go to like these sites, you'll see a lot of the fake stuff that they do. And like I said before, like, I'm not saying all of it is, but there's enough. And the fact that they're calling it a genocide, when you go and look what a true genocide truly looks like, is an insult to people who, or even that that's starving, for instance. It's an insult to people who actually have died through starvation or have went through genocides, like the Uyghur Muslims, the Ethiopians, the Christians in Muslim majority countries who are being genocided, and no one says a word about it. Nothing. The world is silent. They'll just keep shouting free, free Palestine and ignore the rest of them. Because when it's Muslims killing Muslims, they don't care. Because it doesn't fit their narrative, I guess. And that's so sad, because every human being in this world matters. And every human being in this world counts, you know? We all do. We all matter. We all count. And I pray for these people, I truly do. And I hope people open their eyes. And even just like, look at the Lebanese people. If you don't like Christians, if you don't like Jews, you know, if you're, I don't know, if what your persuasion is, if you're watching this video, at least support the Lebanese. I mean, these are Muslims who are starving. If you support the Jews, counteract like the lies that are coming from Hamas. And if you're support the Christians like I do, call out the genocide that's happening in places like Africa. Because no one is being a voice for these people. No one. Alright, I'm gonna go, guys. I love you all so much. And keep these people in your prayers because they truly need it. Alright, bye.